Welcome back to the We Are Here podcast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Tony.
Today we're joined by Stephanie Harcharik. Stephanie is the Epilepsy Program Coordinator at Streator Unlimited. Among some other things, she has a couple different titles and has worked there for over 20 years. And so Streator Unlimited is a multi-service organization in Streator that provides a lot of different opportunities for our special needs community, who we have the joy of working with every year at our Night to Shine event in February. So we're happy to have Stephanie with us today.
Yeah, Streator Unlimited is such a golden star in our town, and I wish everybody knew more about it, and now they can.
Yes.
So enjoy this podcast, learn all you can, and maybe schedule a visit. See you in the next one.
Welcome back to the We Are Here podcast. We're here today with Stephanie Harcharik from Streator Unlimited, and she has many titles at the organization that we love. We've partnered with in several different ways over the years as a church, and we're so excited to have you today as our November guest, and we'll let you explain a little bit that November is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and so that worked out really well, and just kind of a coincidence, but we're happy to spread awareness of that and also have Stephanie with us to explain a little bit of what she does at Streator Unlimited, what Streator Unlimited does in our community for our special needs community in Streator. So, Stephanie, welcome, and thanks for joining us during your Spirit Week. I hear
Absolutely.
So dressed up in pink for cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness. So. Happy to have you. So we'll just start off letting you share a little bit about yourself. Streator native, grew up here in Streator. So tell us a little bit about your story and what it was like growing up in Streator. What do you remember fondly? What's changed since you were growing up? And what do you love about it today? So go ahead and tell us a little about your Streator story.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I welcome the opportunity to spread more awareness about Streator Unlimited. So like you said, born and raised, Streator native. Went to grade school, high school, and came back after college to this town. I think family is what kept me here.
Nice.
I come from a very large family, so the small town feel, that's really near and dear to my heart. So I think that's what's kept me around. And just seeing all the great things going on here in our community that I think sometimes a lot of people tend to forget. So
Yeah. So looking back, what are some of the things that you remember fondly? Kind of like, were you one of those like come home when the street lights come on kind of kid, or what was Streator like as a kid that you remember fondly?
Well, what I remember are the events, the festivals, the fireworks.
Yeah.
I mean, even you see how big our Streator Fest is these days. Even back as a child, I can remember spending all day at the carnival and doing the fireworks, lots of family get-togethers. So I think there's a lot of rich history and the things that Streator still does. But definitely being involved, I always was involved with the Streator softball, always played sports, did a lot of, the youth things that we tend to do to meet all the other kids in the area, but definitely out and about, always doing something. I wasn't a sit around, stay quiet person.
No moss growing into your feet. Yeah,
no,
for sure.
No.
So you said you went off to school. Do you mind telling us where'd you go to college at?
Sure. So I did my first 2 years right here at IVCC, and then I transferred down to Jacksonville to Illinois College, and I got my bachelor's in social work. And came back to Streator, not sure what I was going to do. My thoughts were I was going to do something with the nursing homes, do social services, something along that line. And actually, I said the one place in town I wasn't going to work at was Streator Unlimited.
Really?
Yes.
Well, how ironic.
It is. And you know why? I always say that people think they know what Streator Unlimited is, but until you get there, you don't know.
Yeah.
So, I kind of had a preconceived notion of what I thought it was, and I did not think it's what I wanted to do. And there was an opening there that I was interested in. It was at the time starting their community employment program.
Okay.
So I inquired about it, and I took the job, and that was 20 years ago.
Wow.
So I often say that Streator Unlimited is like a hidden gem of Streator. So if anybody out there has never been to Streator Unlimited, I invite you to come for a tour because I think you'll kind of be like me and realize that it is so much more than what you think it is.
Definitely. Yeah. So, just thinking about a 20-year career working with adults with disabilities, So it wasn't really specifically that population that you were looking to work with necessarily. It just presented itself as an opportunity. So what has that been like? Tell us a little bit about your role today, in the organization itself, and what need is Streator Unlimited filling in our community, in the area, that you see happening every single day around you. Tell us a little bit about what you do for work every day.
So each day is different.
Yeah,
There's
course,
no 2 days
course.
alike. But I think one of the things is Streator Unlimited in the past was a day programming where people with developmental disabilities went and they had classrooms and work opportunities. And fast forward to today, and we're so much more. One of the things we're doing is we're taking people with all these skills that need help finding a job, and we're finding the right employer for them. We're being the mediator to make sure that they're getting a job that they love and they want to do, while at the same time the employer is getting a really good worker out of it. So I think that's the biggest thing. We have people getting jobs in our community, paying their taxes, having their, they're giving back to society right in their community, just like all the rest of us are. And it's staying local right here.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the biggest rewards that I see that we are getting as a community.
Tell us these the clients. What's the word? That's
You can
used
call them
for-
clients, consumers, individuals.
So they're amazing people, just amazing people.
Absolutely.
And so
They're my coworkers.
We've had the chance to meet several of the clients, some of the consumers, and tell us about them. Like, what is amazing about them? I mean, we've been able to see them at work, and there's just so much good that comes out of that work program.
Absolutely.
I guess I'll share. I walk into Moron, Maine every Tuesday and I see Eddie. There.
And do you just
it.
smile?
Oh, every time. I love Eddie. It just being able to see him every week and have a conversation with him, and he's just such a prominent part of our community, and just always joy in his heart. So I'm sure there's countless stories, but tell us a little bit more about maybe even some of the obstacles that they're overcoming, and just some of the things that are surprising to see that wow, these are amazing people.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very challenging. Don't get me wrong. We have lots of challenges. It's just that the reward just pays off for all those. But when you're talking about Eddie, for example, I was clicking through, I think it was Jamie Clock that does photography downtown, and he had the downtown trick-or-treating, and then there was Eddie in his inflatable M&M costume. Handing out candy. And so, it just brings a smile to your face. It really does. I think something that just still I'm in awe of, when I say I've been here 20 years, I placed people on their job back in 2004 that are still on their job.
That's incredible.
Wow.
2006, 2007. So when I say you're getting a good worker, you're getting a dedicated quality worker that's not just there, for a few months and then on to the next thing. You have to keep in mind that some of these individuals haven't been given opportunities before. So when they get an opportunity, they go above and beyond because they know that it's harder for them. So that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, not just that we're placing people on jobs, but the longevity of their job.
Yeah.
We had couple people, I think 2 that are in union jobs, paying union dues with benefits. So that is one of the things that I'm most proud of.
Very good. Yeah, we're so proud of them too, and being able to see our community members just thriving in great jobs, in local jobs too, just helping with our local economy. It's such an important goal and accomplishment, I would say. Right. So just kind of backing out a little bit, kind of the 30,000-foot view of SU, what all is involved. So there's quite a bit going on with Streator Unlimited. So can you tell us just a little bit about some of those lists of support programs and like housing and things like that, just all those things. Share a little bit about that.
So for those of you that don't know, Streator Unlimited was founded by 4 parents back in 1965. It was just a one-room building for their children to go to after high school, because the high school didn't have special education like it does these days. So fast forward, to today, and we have our day program, which has both, we call it CDS, Community Day Program. well, CDP, I guess, and a sheltered workshop where you learn some work skills. We have 5 residential homes.
Yeah.
So we take care of individuals that can't live on their own or their families can no longer care for them. 24-hour around-the-clock care we provide in those houses. We also have the employment program, which we were talking about. And I just want to say, when we started that program, we had 4 people in it at a time, and now we're anywhere from 12 to 15 on a caseload.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's just grown substantially. In addition, we also have a grant that provides supports to individuals who have epilepsy and their family members. And when you were talking about the timing of November, November is actually Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So this is a great time to bring awareness to epilepsy, what it is, who it affects, and that we have those supports out there for individuals who may need those as well too.
Yeah, and you are the program coordinator for that program. And you presented like to the Ministerial Association before, so a little bit familiar with that. But tell our listeners a little bit more about that. How did you get involved in it? Kind of what's your story behind getting involved in the epilepsy program, and why is what is it? And tell us a little bit more about it.
So epilepsy is a neurological disorder that affects 1 in 26 Americans. It is provoked by seizure disorders. So seizures come in all shapes and sizes. You can have an absent seizure, a small seizure, a grand mal seizure. But epilepsy is the neurological disorder that's causing those seizures. The grant came across about 6 years ago and piqued my interest because a hidden secret of mine was I live with epilepsy. So here I am providing all these services to people who live with epilepsy, and I myself did too. And I thought this was a great platform to show that epilepsy is not just a one shape. It affects certain individuals. It doesn't discriminate. It can affect women, men of any age. You can be born with it. You can develop it. So that's kind of where I came from. I just want to show what it is and that it's nothing to be afraid of. How can I educate our community, or in this case, our state, because we do travel all over now. What do you need to know? How can you support someone? Do you know first aid? And then I bring to you, when I say 1 in 26, that's 1 in 26 your parishioners, 1 in 26 your friends, for businesses, your customers, your employees. So I think we really need to talk about it more than what we are these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just in Streator, like you said, you guys travel all over the state. So what's the actual region that you're involved in?
So we cover central and northwest Illinois, minus Chicago. It's its own entity. So in November, I will be everywhere from Galena to Quincy.
Oh, wow.
Decatur,
You're going to be in a car a
Streator.
lot.
Yes.
Wow.
So it is a huge area.
Yeah.
But what we've brought out of it is an online virtual group where people now get together once a week from Rockford to Decatur to Quincy, and they form friendships because they share this unique bond of they all live with epilepsy, and they haven't found a great support system within their town, so at least we can bring them together virtually once a week.
Yeah,
So.
very good. And all of that, I think you said when you were presenting to the ministers, it's all kind of administered under the SU umbrella. They brought that into our community, and because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think somebody had to kind of administrate it, and so that's just fantastic.
Yes, it's a state grant.
Yeah.
They give out 4 grants.
Yeah.
Streator Unlimited has one of the grants that provides to our region.
And what a great overlap in mission and just providing that kind of support and really expanding SU's impact to the whole. Almost the whole state.
Right.
Probably you're probably talking at least half the state almost there.
Minus that really southern part and minus Chicago.
It is a big state. It is a big state,
yes.
but that's a lot of land to cover. So fantastic that you guys are doing that. So as far as the support groups, what are some of the things that you're seeing people need as far as those supports? And is it just kind of knowing, hey, I'm not alone in this? Are people trading advice, information, just kind of how are they supporting each other? How are you seeing that be helpful to the individuals that are dealing with epilepsy on a daily basis?
Pretty much everything you said. So some individuals do need specific supports. We've helped people, apply for Social Security, disability, insurance. We've helped people find more specific neurologists due to the epilepsy that they have, housing and employment. People might need funding for more services. We can help them with that. Then you get into people need to know they're not alone. I'm not the only one living with this. Or the caregivers and the parents who maybe are very frustrated and burnt out. They need another parent to know this is what I can do. Then there's so many technical devices out there to monitor seizures, to detect seizures, to alert family members of seizures. So we're bringing those to people. This is what they are. This is how it can help. But the most beneficial thing is what you said. We need to meet other people. We need to hear their story. We need to share in this unique bond that we have. Because as much as I can talk to you or you can talk to somebody, unless you're living through it, you really don't know what the person's going through. So they want to be able to talk to somebody that can really understand and relate. So we're hooking all those people up with each other.
Yeah, are there a lot of parents of kids, I'm assuming, in those groups? And that can be so scary when your child's going through this. Oh man, I
It
can't
is.
imagine,
And so we've created a separate Facebook page just for caregivers, because what we find is when we go to these meetings, and I do take a mother with me, she's on the grant with me, I think it's scarier for the parents because they're the ones seeing it and witnessing the seizures. If I have a seizure, I don't remember it. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I just come back, recover, and go back to life. Whereas the parents have that image scarred in their brains.
Yeah.
So you really do need to have a group for the parents and a group for the individuals, and even a group for the siblings that live with a sibling who has a disability and maybe gets more attention because they have more needs. So they need to have their own group as well too.
Absolutely. So we'll mention this again at the end, but if somebody has epilepsy or knows somebody with epilepsy, maybe you have a child, where would you send people? How do they get in contact with the groups? Do they call you directly? Is there a place where they can go? You mentioned a Facebook page.
So yeah, you can go to our website. We have a link right to the Illinois Epilepsy Support and Resources right there. We have a Facebook page. You can call me at Streator Unlimited, 815-673-5574. You can stop by the main office. You can shoot me an email. And I think you said, Tony, we would put up links to all of those
we'll
too.
put all that on the
Okay, so
description.
we'll make sure we get all that to you.
And we'll mention those again at the end in the episode if you're wondering where you can get those. But we'll bring that back around at the end, and that way people can get in contact and find that support. So just kind of going a little off script here, so I apologize. But is there anything, just kind of thought came to mind, what would you say to those who don't know anyone with epilepsy, who've never encountered somebody having an episode before or anything like that? What advice would you give to people to be able to support somebody, maybe even to save somebody's life? If they come upon somebody, what would you tell our listeners? Like, what would your top things be to tell somebody that has never encountered it before? What would you say to them?
Well, I'd say, first of all, you probably know someone. You just don't know that you know someone, because people don't tend to share. I mean, it's a medical thing that you have going on. So, but I just want you to know that epilepsy is nothing to be afraid of, but you do need to know what to do. Yeah. So if the person is having a convulsive seizure, you want to make sure that you protect their head at all costs. You don't want them hitting their head on the floor or on the table. So if you could just get them to the floor, maybe place something under the head to keep it safe, remove any tables or chairs, anything that they could bump into. If you could keep a crowd from forming, nobody wants to come up out of a seizure to a bunch of people staring at them. If it lasts longer than 5 minutes, you want to call 911, unless you know the person specifically and know that that's not a request of theirs. So always kind of look at your watch, time the seizure. And then if you know anything about them, any medications that they have, make sure you relay that to 911. But 9 times out of 10, the person's going to come out of that seizure. There's nothing the emergency room's going to do other than check their blood levels and tell them to, consult with their doctor. So just be there with them, protect them, make sure, wait until they're alert, get them to a safe place, maybe a comfy chair or somewhere they can lay down, and just be their friend and answer any questions that they may have about the seizure that they just had. Yeah,
so even if you've never, you probably, like you said, probably do know somebody, but even if you've never seen it before, it can, like you said, it can be startling, it can be scary even to watch somebody going through it, but knowing, like, stay calm is a big thing.
Yes.
But knowing that person is gonna come out of that and be able to be there and support them is so important. So, well, thank you for that advice. Hopefully that's helpful for some of our listeners. Who knows? It may help somebody out a lot someday. So, so as far as just, again, kind of looking at our special needs community, maybe thinking about the epilepsy program, just thinking about Streator specifically, what are some of the community needs that SU's meeting in and that have grown in that maybe our community can kind of come up and help meet those needs? What are some things that the community members can do? We've said before on our podcast, we have a great spirit of volunteerism, and I'm sure you've seen that, through your work. Absolutely. And maybe even share some of those ideas of what are people already doing to volunteer with SU, and then maybe even how can they get plugged into helping out with those programs and those needs.
So part of the mission of Streator Unlimited is that we integrate our people into the community as best as we can. So, for example, the Night to Shine prom. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the highlights of the year. So thank you so much for doing that.
Coming up in February.
Absolutely. So. Always looking for volunteers as well, too.
We were looking for volunteers, exactly. Yeah, that'll be out soon.
Yep. But we like to get out in the community. We like to do a lot of things. So if you are an employer and you're looking for, somebody to work for you, always think about us. Reach out to us, see if we have somebody that could match that position. We're always looking for volunteer opportunities. So I know we had a group that was going out and doing some volunteer with pets at a shelter. So if you have anything like that you think we could be a part of, any outings, musical events, just let us know. We would love to attend there. We love to support our community as much as the community supports us.
Absolutely.
So those are the things that we're always looking to be a part of.
Very good. Yeah. I think, I don't remember if it was, I think it was this year. I think there was some people from one of the group homes came for our Lifeline meal packing. I think that was.
Oh, did they come out and help?
This year or last year, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
And so there's been so many they've come and packed boxes for Operation Christmas Child, and there's just so much joy. There's so much joy, and again, it's just such a great part of our community.
So Night to Shine is one of our favorite activities.
Absolutely.
Good.
That we
Good.
Like we love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
So
it
do
is,
they.
And it
I
is
feel like
cool.
We talk about it year round, and I know, like, I've run into Eddie at the coffee shop, and we talk about it all the time, and it's such a joyful night of celebration, and it's really just about community. It's about everyone being I don't know how to say this, but everyone just being a part of the same thing and moving in the same direction, being on kind of that even playing field, and we're all in this together, and we're all celebrating together and having fun together, and
like it means as much to us as it does to the guests that come.
That's wonderful. And when you say it's all year round, you're right, because I mean, over the summer I had somebody come to me and say, "Hey, do you want to see a picture of my prom dress?" And I'm thinking, what? Is there a prom coming up? And they're like, well, in February. And I'm like, okay, we're planning early.
Yeah.
So, yes, I mean, as soon as prom's over, they're looking forward to the next prom.
Oh, yeah. Us too. I mean, behind the scenes, things are already in the works. We're already moving forward to it and toward next year. And so that's the first Friday in February, right? I think it's
right before Valentine's Day, isn't it?
It's Friday before Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day is on a Friday, so it's the previous Friday. But yeah, and so I know, I see. I guess one aspect I see the bus driving around all the time. There's people going all which ways all the time, and just very involved in the community, and it's so good to have. Like I said, just that integration in the community. So, any challenges that you can think of that maybe aren't being met that you'd like to see being met for the clients, or for maybe even are there any groups of people in our community that need those needs met? Anything kind of vision wise, just kind of looking toward the future. Where would you like to see us grow toward, and where are we maybe missing out on some opportunities to level that playing field, or however you want to say that?
I think the biggest challenge that I can see is, so our funding source is very specific on what type of disabilities you have to be funded in order to get services. We're seeing a lot of kids transitioning out of high school. They're falling through the cracks because they don't meet the needs because they don't have those severe disabilities. Yeah. But the challenge is that they still have ADHD or learning disability or something that's keeping them from getting jobs and being productive members of the society. So we step in and we help them. But for example, the funding for our sheltered workshop, that's going to be phasing out in the next 5 years. So we're trying to figure out how can we continue providing supports to the ones that don't have the severest needs, but still need some sort of support to move on and be as successful as they can be.
Yeah.
That is a challenge in its own. As far as Streator Unlimited staffing, we could always use DSPs, the individuals that work in the group homes and up at the day service, taking care of the individuals or taking them to the outings, taking them out in the community. So if somebody's out there looking for a job, I would encourage you to come apply at Streator Unlimited to be a DSP, because we could always use more staff so that we could do more activities getting people out and about.
Sure. Just could you explain just a little bit more what a DSP does?
Sure.
For our listeners, in case anybody is interested.
So a DSP is a direct service professional. Back in the days, I think they might have called them a HAB aide. But you're going to be with the individuals in their homes, helping them do their daily living skills. So helping them cook their meals, do their laundries, plan their day's event, take them shopping, take them to the movies, out to eat. Some individuals might have more severe needs, so you might have to assist them with hygiene or eating. And then they come to the day program during the day. So that's usually 3 to 11 shift, and then overnight shift is the ones that we're looking for in the houses. Yeah. But you're just being there. You're helping them do what you do every day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, fantastic. And so just kind of roughly like about how many folks work at Streator Unlimited, just overall, how big is the organization?
Yep.
Just to kind of give a scope of the scale and things, and
Yep. So we are an employer of about 60 people here in the Streator area.
That's fantastic.
And we our houses provide housing for 32 consumers, and then we have an additional about 40 that commute from their own family's home or who live on their own that we serve.
Quite a big impact in a town
absolutely.
in our town our size. So yeah, it's just fantastic. Again, part of our community. So, well, Stephanie, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners? Anything else you want people to know about SU or epilepsy program, or the consumers or anybody?
I would say if you are interested in learning anything more about Streator Unlimited, check us out on Facebook. We are really good about keeping up to date so you can see what is going on, what we're always doing. And right now is a fun time with Halloween coming and Christmas coming. We're always pretty busy. And again, we're a hidden gem. I don't think you know everything we do until you come through for a tour. So please call, set up a tour, come check it out. Get to see those friendly faces that Paul was just talking about. And if you're interested in getting a job, apply. And then November, Epilepsy Awareness Month. If there's any groups out there that need any speakers or anybody to have somebody teach you more about epilepsy or what it is, give me a call.
Yeah.
I will try to accommodate and be there whenever you need me to.
And it is, like I said, you came and talked to our ministerial group, and it's a fantastic presentation, very informative. I learned a ton through it, and so I really appreciated that.
Thank you.
Highly recommend that presentation.
I would encourage getting in touch with you guys and doing a tour.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
the staff did a tour years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure you were here.
Well, we went there. I think I was actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think I don't.
Time
I don't know if
flies.
it was the same
but
tour
we
you're
did.
talking about, but
I
think
don't
was
know.
there
We
for
did
that,
a tour, and I was astounded by the opportunities that your consumers have just there on the site. The paint shop and just all kinds of things, and it was awesome how excited your consumers were to show us
Oh, absolutely.
what they do. It was business.
Oh,
it
it
was
is.
all business, but they were so excited. Just like, this is what I do, and I'm the best at it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
do it good.
Absolutely.
And it was amazing. So I encourage people to just do that because it changes your perception.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember, and I don't remember if it was the same day or not, but one time we were visiting the shop, and it was lunchtime, I think, and so everybody was gathered around. And for some reason, there was I don't know. The only thing I remember is they were serving hot dogs that day.
It was Take Me Out to the Workshop.
Is that what it was?
We did, instead of Take Me Out to the ball game, we did Take Me Out to the Workshop.
But there was just so much excitement and so friendly, and I'll never forget that. It was just,
That was a fun day.
It was a fun day.
It was.
Yeah.
We specifically went out and we invited businesses. That was our goal. We want you to come see. And actually, out of that, one of the employers that came through, Dig Dug's, hired somebody out there from that day. Yep, that day's event.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's so good. So many good community connections. And such a good organization. Website, if you'd share the website for our listeners.
www.streeterunlimited.org.
Okay, and then the location. So if you want to come to, call ahead. Don't just show up. But where is Streator Unlimited, the actual main?
So our main office is at 305 North Sterling Street, just one block east of the park.
Yep. And so check out the Facebook page as well. Definitely get a hold of Stephanie if you're interested in the epilepsy program. Fantastic presentation and very informative and very helpful for your organization. So, Stephanie, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for what you do through Streator Unlimited and for making Streator a better place through your whole organization. We appreciate all of you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for thinking about me and inviting me on.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we look forward to having everybody here for Night to Shine in February as well.
See you in February, if not sooner.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for listening to the We're Here podcast, and we'll see you next time.